It's time for another edition of Pet Talk.
Sometimes when you say no to your dog, you might feel like you might as well be talking to a brick wall. So how can you get through and convey the meaning of that word, no?
Well, that's where pet behavior specialist Cathy Guinane comes in. Good to see you, Cathy.
Good morning.
What do you got here?
This is Pongo.
Pongo?
Yes, Pongo.
Pongo?
He's some sort of a Chihuahua Dachshund something mix. He's about 15 months old.
He's a fun dog. It's still a little bit of a puppy. But
A little bit of a
fun
puppy,
pup.
but he's not going to get any bigger. He's size-wise as big as he's going to get.
He's small, smaller.
Yeah.
Now you said Chihuahua mix and
Yeah, something
perhaps
like
some Dachshund or
Yeah,
something
something like that.
too. He's a dog.
He's a dog. He's
He
a
is
dog.
a
We're
sweet-
guaranteed. He's a
He
dog.
is a dog.
And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about his personality, because he
Hey,
has
bud.
been very curious, very attentive since he's been in our studio.
He is. He has greeted everybody. He loves, seems
He
to love
is.
everybody, and he'll stay there as long as you pet him and
He's
then
just
some.
so happy.
He is. And
so
he'll
happy.
give you lots of kisses, but he prefers
But
the floor. You know, he'll
he
get on your
does.
lap for a minute and then back you down he goes.
As
He's-
happy as he is, he's going to do some naughty things
Absolutely.
like all dogs. So how do we correct naughty behavior?
Well, we have to give the dog a new plan. They don't just understand no means I need to do something else. It's like, oh, I got attention. They talked to me. Well, we hollered at them, but we talked to them. So
Yeah.
in their mind, they got attention for that. But if we have something else, so say there's a shoe over here, and we know they like shoes.
They
Right.
do.
So I'm going to give them 2 or 3 good toys over here and put some treats, and I'm going to make a big deal of this.
Oh, I
and then
got
when
you,
they're
sure.
occupied, I'm just going to move the shoe. And the next time I'm going to remember to pick up my shoes.
Okay, but
So
how
that
do
I
you get
don't
them
tempt
not to
them.
eat the shoes?
The more you do and make a
You
big
pick
deal
up
of
your
the better.
shoes, Mike.
You
That's
gotta pick
how.
up-
What if I don't want to pick up my shoes?
Well, then they're going to eat your shoes.
What about some other examples of redirecting?
Digging. You know, lots of
Yes.
dogs love to
Yes.
dig. Well, I don't want them digging up my flowers. So I gave them a place to dig. I started out with like a little kid wading pool and put in a little bit of sand, some dirt, but then I put stuff in it that they're going to find, from treats to toys. So
Right.
when they dig, they
So
find
they go
something.
dig over there.
So it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, you can also just make a place in the ground and block it off, and this is what we need to do.
That's what
Here's
we
your
did.
spot, and I just kept taking them back and made a big deal. And lots of times when I got them there was stuff for them to find, but I also put a few treats or something else in there too, so it kind of kept their attention for a couple minutes, and their nose started to kick
What
in.
is it about digging that dogs love? Well, some dogs are just diggers. What is it?
Some
What
are.
they looking for something, or what are they doing?
Well, some dogs are bred to go to ground. They're to vermin and hunt those kinds of things. So they're going to be more apt to want to dig. I think it feels good on their feet. They can smell what's in the ground, and it's enticing, and they want to find out what's down there.
So it's basically the concept of taking something negative and turning it into a positive.
Absolutely. And then the more we do those things with them and make that the routine, that this is what I do instead, then they start to understand, oh, if I hear no or I need to go get something else
It's
to
the
do.
consistency that
Yes.
you're talking about. You
Yep.
got to stay consistent with those things.
And they'll do it.
And how quickly can you see results?
You know, it depends on how often the behavior happens, number one. Number two, how consistent are you? You know, I have one that likes to use his mouth, and I just started giving him a Nylabone when I knew those times were coming. And within a week, he was like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. And he goes and gets it. Now, if it's buried, I have to help him because he gets panicked.
We've got a
Yes.
crew member that keeps whistling. You get him to look at the camera, and he keeps turning around.
Quickly,
That's what he's looking
the
at.
information you see on your screen there for the Nebraska Humane Society. If you're interested in Pongo, adoptions open at
Noon.
Noon.
There
yeah,
you
head
go.
down there. You got 2 hours.
Fill your application out ahead of time.
And
so.
that's the key. Get down there before noon, fill the application out.
So you're on the
and
list.
then you might be able to get there.
Bye,
you go.
Pongo.
The
Thank
Pongo.
you.
Thanks, Pongo.
you.